Hi and welcome to this new video, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at sci-fi themed gates, and I'm going to use the empty sci-fi scene to show them to you. So we're just going to go into single player here, and you're also going to get a little bit of a sneak peek here at stuff that's going to be coming. So this is the Twig XL, and I'm going to be flying that through the gates just to kind of give you a view of the gates using a quad you haven't seen before. We haven't actually finished working on the toothpicks yet, but this gives you an idea of what's coming. And we just got a little bit more work to do on the aerodynamics on these just to get them absolutely perfect, and then we'll release them. But they won't be in the coming release. They'll be just a few weeks down the line, because we're doing a two-phase release. Phase 1 has combat and the sci-fi scenery and the sci-fi gates in it, plus a bunch of other updates and enhancements to the sim, and then phase 2 down the line should be Betaflight 4.2 and the Twig class of quads and all that stuff. So and that's the plan. So we're going to be flying this today. Drop into scene selection here, and we've just got a bunch of test scenes here, and I've got one that I've just put all of the new sci-fi gates into, which I'm just going to load up. Okay,
ready to race.
There we go. So I'm going to start a race, and then this will just take me through a process of making sure I show you all the different gates. Just turn that HUD off there, that's a combat HUD. Okay, so there are quite a lot of gates here, as you can see, that are sci-fi themed that we've added, and they're basically in 3 themes. So you've got the same gates 3 times, but they're in different themes. So if you look at this object here and kind of see what that looks like, and then you've got that same object down here but in a slightly different theme. So you can see this one is kind of more yellowy and has more black elements to the feet on it, and then if I go down here there'll be a third version of that, which is, you know, more kind of silvery and reflective, as you can see. But basically it's a barrier, you know, like a multi-GP barrier to sort of fly over before you go through a gate. And there are three versions of the barrier. So if I go back to the start, so I mean that gives you the idea. There's 3 versions of everything pretty much, and it starts with these barriers, these different barriers that you can use to just kind of hop over, and then there's like a tall barrier here which you could go under it, or you know, equally go over it, depends what you want to block off. And then we've got the dive gate. So this is you know, your basic angled dive gate, and then we've got a non-angled dive gate, a bit more difficult to drop through. Then you know, this is just an ordinary kind of large gate, and then, you know, a double gate here, but this one isn't actually set up as a gate because we don't know how you would want to fly that. So you would put so some of these gates don't have gates built into them, so you would put invisible gates into these in order to turn them into actual gates. So anyway, let's start flying it. So got that gate there, and then take down here we've got a hoop, then another kind of smaller looking hoop, and this kind of triangular hoop, and then all these various pylons, really nice looking pylons. And I actually flew through all 3 at once there, which is why we've gone down to this one down here. And we've got another kind of high hoop here, and then this kind of diagonal square gate and a hexagonal gate here. Quite a nice, you know, different kind of shape to fly. And then we've got these kind of dive cube type things which you can fly all different ways through. You've got this like tower, you know, kind of orbit around and then fly through type gate. And there's the first tunnel gate. So this is kind of like a tunnel. You could stack these together to make a long tunnel. And then there's the perspex tunnel, so there's like a perspex here that you can see that perspex effect on it. And if I just go inside here, you can see perspex effect side there. And then there's a triple gate down here, which obviously we didn't fly because it's not actually a gate, because you might want to set this up as, you know, a ladder like this, or it might be you fly through it this way and then back through that way and then, you know, through that way. It just depends how you want to set it up, but we don't put gates into these by default, so that you can program them to be however you want them to be. Okay, so let's move to the second set of gates. So there's a few more flags in this one. This is the more kind of dark coloured or dark themed gates in this section. Lots of little flags. Some of these are actual flags and some of them aren't. So some of them you can use decoratively just as flags for your scene, and some of them are actual gates and have the gate object on them. You can see like the different theme of this now. And then we've got our circle gate. Some hoops. Another hoop. Triangle gate. Then we get into our pylons. We've got a few more pylons to choose from here in the dark theme. You can see these here. Really quite nice looking type pylons. Different designs on them. And then these kind of tall, thin ones. And then we've got our raised hoop. And then our kind of diamond gate. You can see the different styling on here with the yellow kind of hazard kind of look to it. Pentagon gate, and then we've got a dive cube again with the kind of hazard style to it. And again for the tunnel, and then our perspex tunnel again. And then the last theme, these are more kind of like a reflective silvery type theme to them. Again, you've got a selection of flags here. Fly through all of these, and then we've got our dives, of course, our angled dive. And you can see the reflection on this one now, how reflective the material is on this. It's kind of a really silvery, reflective kind of colour. So angled dive, and then our normal dive gate, and then the gates we looked at before. We've got our double and our triple gate for your ladders and that kind of stuff. Quite nice to fly around. Then a hoop, another hoop. Oops, thanks for that. And then another bunch of pylons. Oh yeah, triangle gate down here. Another bunch of pylons. Really quite nice looking pylons. That's all of those. And then we've got our raised hoop, again in this style. Diamond, pentagon gate, then the cube type thing, tunnel. Again, you can see the kind of very distinctive different styling on these. And then to fly through this, I'm going to come through the cube. And then our perspex kind of tunnel. And then at the end here, we've got basically what I would call the kit bash version of all of this stuff. So this is so that you can build your own gates in the kind of sci-fi theme. So these are all made up of constituent parts, and these constituent parts are all down here. So you can kind of build your own gates from this stuff. You've got all the various bits you need to make any kind of shape of gate that you might choose, or pylon, or whatever you want to do with it. And then various building blocks here for the arms and legs and crossbars and that sort of thing, and then various wall type items here that you can build from. And I stretched this one isn't normally this tall, I stretched this one up just to kind of show that they can be stretched out as well. All with very nice pretty textures on. And then yeah, they've got a lump of perspex here as well if you want to make transparent walls or you know, hoops or whatever you want to do with it. Or, you know, you put two of them together and make a transparent circle. You know, you could use that transparent perspex and put it, you know, either side of a circle gate, so you make like a perspex circle and then another one of these gates the other end, and that would create, you know, like a raised circular tube. You know, I mean, you get the idea. You can just kind of design away and make your own stuff with this stuff. So yeah, that's all of the sci-fi gates in the empty sci-fi scene. Flying around here with all these gates in here. I'm running at 4K in here on Fantastic, and you can see I'm getting 120 frames a second at 4K Fantastic. So you know, this scene's got reasonably decent performance on it. It should run on most machines, shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so that's it, and I'll see you on the next video.